So to open up to the media, Miss Maddie Levine.
All right, let's start it off with our main event. Randy with Maddie Levine, Fight Bananas. This is your first cut to 135 in 2 years. Tell me how you're feeling, and does this feel like home for you at 135?
I think now definitely yes. I feel like I'm doing everything right. I was kind of like a dickhead with my nutrition before. I was eating way too much candy, but I've really dialed that in. I've been working with a nutritionist. His name's Tristan Kennedy. Been working with him about 5 years now, and for the past year, I've been 100% locked in, and I'm feeling incredible going to 35. I'm like 8 pounds over right now, still feeling strong, still feeling full. I definitely feel like this is my home, but I mean, it definitely didn't suck fighting at 45 either. Can eat a little bit more, but we'll see what happens after this. Yeah, I'm happy to be here.
In a recent interview, your opponent Davis mentioned that the longer the fight goes, the better chance that he has. How would you like to respond to that?
I mean, I'm not much of a numbers guy, but he's right about that. I mean, anytime I've gone to the second round, I've lost. And he can be a 5-round fighter, and I'll be a 5-minute fighter, but you have to get through the first 5 minutes. I don't know how long the fight's going to last. He doesn't know how long the fight's going to last. But the bullshit about it being 5 rounds is that's just a formality. It's definitely not going to be 5 rounds.
So on Friday night, you could potentially be the inaugural Bantamweight champion. If you win this fight, who's the first person you're calling?
Who's the first person I'm calling or calling out? I'm gonna have all my people.
You know what? Let's do both. Who
I'm
are
gonna
you
have
calling
my.
out,
I'm not
and then
calling
who are
out
you
anybody
calling?
because I don't know what I'm doing after this fight. I don't know what I'm gonna do after, like literally right after. I have no idea.
When you pick up the phone, who are you calling?
Oh God, I don't know who I'm gonna call. I'm gonna have all my people here. The people that matter are gonna be here. My parents are gonna be here. I got my boy Nico, my coaches. I'm a lucky man.
Love it. Now, Brandon, you have met before. You guys fought at UFC 236 several years ago now. Both of you have evolved greatly. What do you think is the biggest strength that you have moving forward, and what is your biggest evolution, you would say?
Biggest evolution, knowing timing and space, how to use my range so much better. My biggest asset for fights like this is durability. I can take them and keep coming. Like he said, I don't think it's going 5 rounds, but if it goes out of the first round, I think every second that it goes past that, it leans towards me. But like he said, I got to make it through the first 5 minutes, but he also has to make it through the first 5 minutes. I hit him with some hard shots in that last fight in the first 5 minutes too. I almost knocked him down with a jab. So it isn't just like he's the only one that has the power. So I'm not saying I can't finish it in the first round, but I'm saying the further it goes into the fight, definitely the more it leans towards me. But who knows? Nobody knows what's going to happen. I'm going to be in there swinging. He's going to be in there swinging. Somebody's going to get caught eventually.
And same question for you. If you win this fight on Friday night, who is the first person that you call and tell?
Probably Pizza Hut.
Great answer.
Get some
Great
donuts.
answer.
Like he said, everybody's going to be here. I'm just going to go and eat some good food.
My next question is for Maurice. Maurice, you train alongside John Jones, and you mentioned that you gave a lot of love to your team and John online. What or how has Jones's influence helped you for this fight camp?
In every aspect. Like, it's not by chance that I've been able to. We did 2 camps together, and I've known for going on 5 years, and I've got to see the mental, physical, the work that nobody wants to do, and that's the work I call in the classroom. That's studying footage, studying film. It's invaluable. Like there's just it's so valuable. Sorry, it's so valuable, and I'm so blessed that I've been able to pick up some of those gems from John and all the coaches. I mean, he's the greatest, and he's been with the same coaches. They're the greatest too. So we're gonna see Friday night, man. We're gonna see Friday night. That little bit of scariness and that unknown is what I like. That's what drew me to this. I was scheduled to fight in March in Orlando, and it didn't work itself out, and it was a blessing in disguise. And when they came back, I still had that itch I needed to scratch, and now I get to do that. So I'm excited to do that.
Thank you. Over to Chase. Chase, do you have any advice for your opponent? I know he's fought many disciplines, but this is the first time he's taking off the gloves. So do you have any advice for him come Friday night for his first bare knuckle experience?
Well, giving my opponent fucking advice for it.
Maybe be
show
ready.
up.
Show up,
That's
be
it.
ready.
Yeah, stay healthy, man. Hey, you know?
Let's move over to Josh. Josh, you fought Brandon Davis in MMA and won. So what were your thoughts on him getting a shot at the belt?
He's coming off a win. I'm coming off a loss, different weight class, but there's a reason I'm the #1 bantamweight in Mississippi, and just looked to prove that on Friday night. And I haven't looked at Brandon or Randy. I'm only thinking about Jason. But best believe afterwards we get stitched up, all that good stuff. I will be watching that fight, whether it's on my phone, hopefully closely in the crowd, whatever. So I'm going to be definitely watching it, and hopefully Boss Man will give me that opportunity once I show I'm worthy for that on Friday night. But first step is a veteran like Jason Knight. So
I love it. Jorge Masvidal believes, or he recently said he believes that this could be the fight of the night, the fight to watch. How does that make you feel to know that Masvidal has so much confidence in you and your performance?
I think he knows exactly the style fighters that bring it. I mean, I don't have a completely aggressive come forward style, but I got a lot of tricks. Jason only knows one thing, and that's come forward, and he's a dog. I mean, everybody knows that. He's proven himself time and time again, and he can play these tricks of he's not the best version of himself. He's the best version he can give right now. I'm not listening to any of that. I'm ready for Jason Knight and his best mental game, physical game, and just completely ready for the best version of him, so I can show the best version of me, because I know that's what's going to come out on Friday.
Love that. Now, Jason, you mentioned that you only had 2 weeks off for this fight camp. You've been working 12-hour days and then going to the gym after. So what is your motivation to work so hard?
Man, I love this sport, for one. For two, I got a lot of fucking debt that I want to get paid off. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody wants to struggle their whole life. You know, I got to keep a full-time job because those bills keep coming whether I want to be a fighter or not. You know, so I got a full-time job, and that gets my bills paid. But, you know, I'm done chasing dreams. You know, I've lived every dream that I can. So now the only thing left to do is financial stability. You know what I'm saying? Pay some shit off and, you know, give my kids something whenever I die. You know, and that's all that I'm fighting for. You know, I love this sport, but I've been doing this 18 years. You know, it's not about, you know, getting to a title shot or, you know, any of that stuff. It's beating the man in front of me so that way I can get double the money. That's it.
Thank you. And we'll leave the last question to Jorge Masvidal. Jorge, this is an incredible card, and you mentioned how excited you are for this card. But if you were to choose one fight that could potentially steal the show, which fight would you be choosing?
Any of these fights right here on stage could
Yes, sir.
steal the show. I'm going to throw Guto's name in there with his opponent as well, because both of them have very, very good stand-up, and they both usually choose a stand-up. Now we're going to get to see him bare knuckle, so those are like my 4 picks for who's stealing the show. You know, obviously the main event, we booked the main event for a reason, because we think that's the one that's more than likely going to steal the show. But the co-main event is going to be just as wild, dangerous as any fight. You know, this fight right here, you guys can feel the tension already between these two. These two are ready to go right now. And it's not that they don't, you know, necessarily like each other, but they're just not going to give an inch to each other. So, hats off to the matchmakers, Dean Toole. Hats off to Victoria Gonzalez for making this happen. This is our biggest and best event, and we just can't wait, man. We want to again thank all the guys, everybody that's on the card, all the guys on the stage for doing what you do, you know. Because after training camp and all that, it's cool, you know. But then you got the real fight, you know, no gloves. The punches come harder, the hands hurt more, and it's easier to get choked out or submitted. So definitely props to these guys for always just putting it all on the line for us.
This segment brought to you by LiveTrained, where you can train anything, anywhere, anytime, and you can learn more at livetrained.com.